It's round one of the high school football playoffs, and we have a matchup as the Clarke County Eagles face Madison County at home in Berryville last week, defeating Madison County 49-35. Now joining me, the head coach of the Clarke County Eagles, Casey Childs. And coach, a very unique perspective on these playoffs. You're playing the same team that you just defeated a week ago in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not the most enviable thing to do, playing somebody back to back like that with so much familiarity with back to back weeks. But, it is what it is. Our region is just really, really good from top to bottom. So, yeah, we're going to have our hands full going back to back with Madison for sure.
10-0 winning the Bull Run District outright. What really impressed you about this matchup against Madison County and the win down at their place?
Well, I thought, anytime you drive 2 hours, on the bus, you get down there and, it's their senior night. And of course, we're still playing for a lot at that time. And they're still trying to improve their playoff position too by, trying to beat us. But I thought that we came out of the gates really well. We were explosive on offense. We scored pretty much every possession we had in the first half, and we were able to get some stops. And then we were able to get some stops and scores, and that was the game plan because they're really, really good offensively. With regard to Madison, they've got weapons all over the place. So we were able to get some scores and stops, and was able to open a pretty big lead at halftime. And at that point, the rest is that. But it was also very, very exciting for our kids in our program to win another Bull Run District championship, and then obviously to go 10-0.
Yeah, so looking at this game, the score doesn't really indicate how well your team played. Madison County sort of trying to get back in the game, but you put some of your reserves in the game, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. We were getting some guys in and out of the game throughout the late in the third quarter, and then throughout the fourth quarter as well. But Madison, to their kids' credit, they did not stop. Those kids kept coming back, and they were pretty explosive in the second half on offense for us.
So, looking at this game against Madison County at home this time around, another unique perspective since you're facing them back to back weeks. What is the best way in your mind to prepare for this round one playoff game, being that you just faced them the week prior?
I think anytime you do that, there were some mistakes that we made, and we have some guys that are a little beat up and some kids that are sick right now as well. And one is we're trying to get healthy, and then two, we've got to make some corrections on some of the mistakes that we made. And some of the stuff was alignment issues. Other things were we didn't tackle well at times. But so we're making some small adjustments. And I think you just have to continue to do what you do and get better at what you do. And offensively, they started making some adjustments too. So we're going to have to, at the same time, kind of go based on what the adjustments they were making throughout the game. And it's difficult when you play a team back to back for sure. But in the same token, it's also, even in our kids' perspective, they know pretty much what Madison wants to try to do, and on both sides of the ball. And Madison's the same way with knowing what we're going to try to do. So it's who can make the biggest adjustments, the small ones, make some correction on some mistakes, and come out and play hard, play fast, and play smart on Friday.
Coach, you've been with Clarke County for quite some time. I just want to get your thoughts. 10th undefeated season in program history. Just take me through what that's like, getting another undefeated season for Clarke County football.
Well, and I think I was talking to some of the like the guys from the Star and Mo and those guys after the game. And, obviously that's our 10th undefeated season in school history, and it's just one of the wild things and small things that just with my family, just overall. My dad played on 3 of the undefeated teams in the 60s. I played on a 91 undefeated team. And then, I've been a part of and fortunate enough to be here and coaching with 4 of the other undefeated teams. So 8 out of the 10 undefeated teams have kind of just been in my family a little bit. So that's pretty special for me on a personal level and my family's personal level. But anytime you can go undefeated and have a perfect season is special because it takes a great group of kids, and to be able to do that. And, you know, this group of kids came together so quickly in the beginning of the season because we had so many question marks on the offensive and defensive lines because we graduated so many. But you know what we were able to do. We had great skill kids coming back from last year. There was no question about that. But what this group of kids were able to do up front on both sides of the ball, just I can't say enough of how proud I am and our entire staff is of how the guys who stepped in this year, and they've just been a great unit on both sides of the ball for us.
And just looking last but not least, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. How big is that factor having home field throughout? Because I know playing at the Felt is a very fun environment to be in.
Yeah, it's a great environment. It's one of the better environments that you'll ever go to and play. That's for sure. You know, in playoffs, you know, it's weird. We've been at home before. We've won a lot of home playoff games, and we've lost a few playoff games at home. And the same thing with being on the road. I think no matter if you're home or away, you've just got to play extremely well, and you can't get the emotions of the game get too high or get too low when things happen. But anytime you're at home is a good thing. So we're excited that we played ourselves into a role that we can be home, and now we just have to go out and try to take advantage of that opportunities.
It is Clarke County hosting Madison County in the first round of the Bull Run District playoffs in Region 2B. As always, joining me, the head coach of the Clarke County Eagles, Casey Childs. Coach, as always, really appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Take care.